Hello everybody. Hope everybody's well. And welcome to the Covenstead Live. Let me go over here. I can say hello to everybody. If it does anything. There we go. Black Magic Society, Andrea, Zanka, Richard, Divs, Agatha, not Agatha. Hello, hello. Rest in peace, Anima Noira. I recognise that name, can't remember who though. Andrea's on time, yes, thank you very much. Black Magic Society wants my healing voice. Yeah, I said we would do spontaneous singing today, didn't I? Healing vibrations. We'll do that just now. I just checked. I know that name because I'm sure I follow her on Facebook. Hold on. Agatha, just if you know what happened, just let us know. Kasim, hello, right? She works with Majestic Favours. I just need to refresh my mind of who it was. As I said, I'm pretty sure I followed her on Facebook. Yeah, don't know. I don't know, I think I follow somebody else. Anyway. Left-hand path, moral, dated, EA, correcting, devil's disciples. Oh, okay. Black Magic Society posted a video earlier on this channel. Andrea, I have to dip in and out to check. Finding is difficult in the dark, I'm sure it is. Oh, sorry to hear about Anima Noira. Right. How's everybody doing? How's your week been? Dragon, hello Dragon. How do I regain my faith and spirit after great stress and OCD? I'm not really sure how to answer that. It's a very big question, and it depends on a lot of particular circumstances. Oh, bloody eyes, my stream not working properly. Hold on. Right. So, how do you regain spirit or regain faith in spirit? You don't have to. That's why it's a very difficult question. You don't have to work with spirit at all, so you don't have to regain faith in spirit. I'm assuming you mean spirits in general. You know, working with various different spirits, gods, demons, angels, blah blah blah, etc., etc. But it depends why you lost faith. That would be the first area to look at. Some week has been okay. I've been debating to myself if I should start to do work with demons, but I'm scared to do so. For now, I'm just working with Hecate and Pan. Any advice if I should go further? Don't treat them any differently to the gods. This is what I keep coming up against with people saying they want to work with demons but they're scared, but they work with gods and goddesses. Gods and goddesses are a hell of a lot more scary than demons, trust me. And the problem is that we've got this Christian upbringing that says that demons are evil and they're going to harm you. That's Christianity. So you've got to deprogram yourself from all that Christian stuff. Oh, it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. It does take time. But the demons from the Galatia and such entities that we're always talking about, not the same. You know, as I said, working with Hecate and Hannah are a lot more scary than the spirits from the Galatia. Hell of a lot more scary. So that's what you need to be scared of it. Anyway, Agatha, on a death notice, when I die, nothing in this world will happen or change. Only a few hearts will tremble in the dew, like the flowers in the morning. It's true. It's very true. Bauhaus, yes, we've got some Bauhaus. I'm going to be doing some spontaneous singing now because it is the second week of the month, and I did promise that I'll do some spontaneous singing somewhere in here. Just waiting for a few more people to get on and then we can get into that. Castle, hello Castle. Week's been good. Learn some more lesson the greater pentagram ritual and hexagram ritual in more depth than I did before. Cool, nice. So once you got those, then you can go to you can do the Star Ruby and the Star Sapphire. See if you notice any difference. That's it was worth a good test. Right, anybody got anything they want to talk about? I have to warn you, Mercury's stationary now, isn't it? So we might have some technical difficulties. If anybody's been noticing that they've been a bit more fighty lately, probably because of that. Kasim, do you excuse me? Do you really need to do the banishing ritual then with spirits, or is it okay just to use a sigil and call them up offerings? I just call them. I might use a banishing ritual if I feel like I need to reset the space that I'm working in, and then I'll call them. You use the banishing ritual just to reset your space. You know, get rid of all the energy. But if you're doing a good big banishing ritual, not just a cleansing, you're going to be resetting the space, as in getting rid of negative, positive energy, everything, absolutely everything. It pushes all things out. It makes the space you're going to be working in usable, resets everything, then you bring in what you want in. So then you bring in the spirit. Sometimes you might feel a need to do that, but I don't think you have to do it every single time. But other people feel you do. You know, some people prefer working with protective spaces. I'm not one of those people. So it is going to be up to you and how you personally feel. If you feel more comfortable casting a protective circle, then do so. You know, there's no absolute one single way to do it, and it's how you feel comfortable. You know, if you are going to go into working to call a spirit, no matter what spirit it is, and you are very nervous and you feel you need a protective space, then do a protective space, because if you don't, then you're going to be full of fear. That fear is going to come across in the working itself, and especially in the how you interact with the spirit, how the energy feels, how the spirit looks, and everything else. You're gonna transfer that across. So if you do feel that you need a protective circle, absolutely do it. But that's Just a personal choice. Agatha, isn't Star Sapphire thelemic? Yes, it is. Struggle with mixing Crowley cosmology views with Solomonic magic. Well, Crowley did kind of go from the Golden Dawn Solomonic Hermetic Kabbalistic leaning more, brought a bit more paganism into it. So yeah, I would say it's a bit more difficult. But I mean, with the Star Ruby and Star Sapphire, it kind of pulled away from the Hebrew, the Jewish, and brought it into more of a Greek framework. So it also helps in that regard. But if you are doing Solomonic as it's written in the grimoires, then you're probably going down the avenue of the Kabbalistic, Jewish, even Christian. It's mostly Christian, actually, Christian magic. So it probably would be a bit more difficult. But at the same time, I mean, if you're doing any of these rituals, like, you know, the Star Ruby is the equivalent of doing the pentagram rituals. The pentagram rituals are really about balancing the elements. And then when you get into the hexagram rituals, or the Star Sapphire would be the equivalent in that case, then you're working with the planetary forces. So, you know, in that context, it's about working with particular energies. Whether you're using angelic names, names of power, you're going into the Greek rather than the Hebrew, it's all the same thing at the end of the day. You know, you're working with those particular energies to achieve a goal. So, you know, then you can plug something in, like Solomonic magic, into that framework. But again, it comes back to, if it doesn't feel right for you, you're probably not going to, you know, accomplish very much with that, because it just doesn't feel right, and therefore you can't get into the ritual itself. So, you know, it is about personal preference at the end of the day again. Castle, I usually banish first and summon them, then banish again and telling them thank you. Yeah, that's the usual format. Wholly on what you said earlier, learned my curse and hex input. Someone has worked, I didn't feel bad, good, just balance when it worked, teaching the 42 laws of Ma'at. I've been enjoying the book. Dead. Cool. Yeah. I'm just trying to, learning my curse and hex input on someone has worked. I didn't feel bad, good. Yeah, I mean, if you are doing a particular working, it's probably not going to feel bad or good, because it's the difficult thing with doing spell work, is you kind of need you need to remove yourself from the situation, which means you often need to remove yourself emotionally as well. But you've got to have enough desire to put into it. So, you know, it's that kind of on the fence type of balancing. It's quite difficult sometimes. Agatha, thank you. It's a pleasure. Bevermorka, hi, I'm a magical old man. He died and came back to life 5 times. He is 97 years old. He talks to spirits, heals, is clairvoyant. Maybe he will even teach me something. Cool. Nice. It's great learning from older people, and it's not just the magic that you learn, it's the life. You know, they have so many tales to tell about, you know, how life was and growing up, and it's just to gain that perspective is just brilliant. Alright, I'm going to do some spontaneous singing today, depending on where you are. If this is your first time experiencing my spontaneous singing, I'll just give you a couple tips. So it's mostly, I do this on this live anyway. I used to do it on the lives. Is for just general healing. So it's about vibration. So if you've got headphones or earbuds or something like that, put them in. You can do spontaneous singing with me if you want to, or just sit and listen. If you are driving or operating any heavy machinery, it's probably not a good idea to do this. So maybe mute for a little bit. You'll see me open my eyes and come back. So yeah. But yeah, I'll start off with like 3 deep breaths, and then I'll go into some general humming, and then I'll start moving into overtoning and spontaneous singing and stuff. Spontaneous singing is just whatever comes through, comes through. It's releasing, giving up control, and just letting the energy flow as it's supposed to. So it will it might be one particular person in the life who kind of needs it more than anybody else, and the energy will go towards that. That type of thing. All right, so I'll just stop the music. And then we'll do this. All right, so as I said, you can just sit back, relax, your headphones on, etc., etc. If anybody needs to say anything, you can. I'm going to have my eyes closed. I'm not going to see anything that's going on in the chat, so I'll get it afterwards. All right. I'll cross my legs. Right, so just going to start with 3 deep breaths. So I'm going to take these off. Soyazyaum Koyalahaya Soyazyaum Tuyam Banyanu Koyazyamu Liamon Soyamono Shomnyazin Omnigiano Soyaniado Kolyajiamoniao Omniagiado Riamagiado Koyagiado Layado Kiabodo Soyadom Bayado Soyado And now, just take 3 more deep breaths and bring yourself back round. Okay, and then wiggle toes, wiggle fingers, open eyes, and come back round. Right, hope everybody's feeling good after that. Put the music back on. I'll give it a little bit of time. I don't want to shock everybody out of that. All right. Bevan Woodcat. Right, I'm going to go away. Where is this here? Okay. This man survived the Bolshevik War. His parents were psychopaths and even tried to kill him. They smashed his head when he was 10 years old, but some beings kept coming to him and healing him so he could heal others. 5 years old, not 10. Cool. Yeah, that's to listen to those stories from the old people is it's really worth it. It's fantastic. Sim, I feel better, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. I'm glad it was helpful. I mean, that's the main reason for doing it, isn't it? Richard, thanks for that. It was great and relaxing. Almost journeyed there. Yep. Was in the ancient deserts for a bit, so I don't like doing it for too long. Andrea, thank you. No, it's a pleasure. I hope Black Magic Society was here because she's the one who wanted it. uh, right. Oh, I'm gonna put the music back on now. So maybe we could organise guided meditation for future Coven chats. It would be great. Yeah, we could do something like that. I mean, we can do our normal chat, and then, at some point, like at 1:15, like we did today, we do whatever it is, the spontaneous singing. Because I know people enjoyed that when I did it previously. Or we can do a guided meditation, all that type of stuff. And then just carry on the chat afterwards. I am going to be making a change on my channel, not a serious one, don't worry. I am going to just be doing one weekly video on a Wednesday, and I'll stick to the main ones, the main segments. Like I'll be doing Punk Magic, and then I'll be doing movie review, and I'm currently doing the Living Current series, which is 12 episodes, so that'll be a year-long thing. Starting that in December. And then I'll do a book review, and then if there's a 5th Wednesday, I'll just add something else in, and then we'll do the Covenstead every Sunday. And then if there's any questions that pop up or anything like that, quick things, then I'll just do random shorts here and there. If I just want to talk about something, I'll just do a quick video and just randomly put them up. So yeah, that's a change that's going to happen anyway. Richard, a guided meditation after your spontaneous singing would be great. Your singing really sets the mood. We could do something. There was actually that guided meditation that I did, the healing waters, where you went to the pool of water and you got in the water. And I think one of them, when I did that guided meditation one week, I did spontaneous singing while you're in the water, and that was also very cool. So we could do something like that, yeah. Bobby Wardcat and interviews. Yeah, I'm not really an interview person, to be honest with you. I'm a very shy person. However, having said that, next week Saturday I'm actually interviewing that punk band Heka, and I'll be doing, that'll be the December Punk Magic video. So yeah, I'll be interviewing. I think they need a bit of a boost because they're not getting enough followers. And they're brilliant. I love them. I think they're absolutely brilliant. So yeah. But I'm not really an interview person. I did in the past, but it's just difficult for me, I think. Right. What's everybody else want to talk about? Interview is necessary with Land of Goats again. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll ever get around to reading the book, so I can't really interview the person. So what you're saying is, when working with demons, treat them like the gods. Kind of, yeah. I mean, they're not the gods. They are, they're Jinn. Well, it depends which ones you're actually working with. I mean, if you're working with the ghostly spirits, that's considered to be Jinn. If you're working with more celestial entities, like, I don't really like lumping Lucifer into that, because I don't consider Lucifer to really be a celestial entity. I actually consider Lucifer to be a god. But let's see, Samael, brain's failing me again today. Or if you're going with like the primordial beings, like Leviathan is a primordial being. They're all different, all got different natures. But don't fear them. From that viewpoint of fearing them as a Christian, that's really what it boils down to. this whole idea of fearing the Goetia demons because, you know, they're called demons. That's really a Christian thing. And as I said, gods are a lot more terrifying than the Goetia spirits. Goetia spirits are chill. You know, you might have some like horrors who are a bit more vile, but that's just because it's their job. That's what, you know, if it's their job to do something that we consider a bit nasty, it's just their job. It doesn't mean that they, you know, should be disregarded. You might need their services one day. But yeah, it's just that whole thing of don't fear the demons more than the gods, because the gods are more terrifying than the demons. Angels are more terrifying than the demons, crying out loud. So just approach it with, you know, approach it slowly, obviously, because it's something new, until you get used to it. But, you know, and if you, as I said, if you do need to feel like you do need to put protection up, put up protection. You know, if it makes you feel better. Nothing wrong with that. But, yeah. Don't approach them from the same perspective as a Christian would. That's kind of what I'm saying. If that makes sense. Richard, I don't think your interview videos were too bad. Got me to buy some books from the people you interviewed. Yeah, they were good. I mean, they weren't bad. It's just... No, yeah. I'm an introvert, so I find it very difficult. But I'll get around to it one day, I suppose. Hello, Ivan. Hope you're doing well. Kasim, what you are saying reminds me of what I read in the Chaldean oracles. That is, the demons do work for the divine. It is their job to do so. That's one interpretation of what a daimon from the Greek actually is. They are the intermediaries between us and the gods. In some cases, they're demigods. So, you know, they are part god. In other cases, they are tutelary spirits. So there's a lot of different interpretations of the original word, but definitely not the idea that they are these evil spirits that are going to kill and attack you, or attack and kill you, in that order. You know, that's definitely a Christian thing, but that applies to everything that's not the Christian God. So Ivan agreed to approach this very slowly. It took me about a year before I connected with Lilith. Yeah. I mean, it's not something you want to rush. It's building a relationship. You don't do that with a human. So, you know, don't do it with a spirit, you know. You're going to meet the person. You're going to start getting to know them. You're going to have a cup of coffee with them. You know, maybe have a cheesecake. And you're going to slowly get to know them a bit more. So it's the same. Building a relationship. What the bloody hell is this? Don't tell me it's pill. Oh, virgin prunes. Okay, that's a new one. Motorka also found some new interesting songs. Jill Tracy, Diabolical Streak, Bittersweet Constrain, Katsuyama Cabaret, Gemini Girly song. Cool. We're doing the goth thing today. Ivan, but it was worth it. For me, I am both in awe and a little scared of these powerful left-hand path gods and goddesses. Really don't like calling them left-hand path gods and goddesses. They're not left-hand path at all. They're just gods and goddesses. Yeah. It's just, that puts a bit of a bad taste in my mouth, sorry. Because to be honest, I don't view Hecate as left-hand path, neither do I. I don't view the Goetia spirits to be left-hand path, to be honest. She's more like middle-hand path. I know she works with entities ranging from Jesus to Lucifer. She goes from angels to demons. Well, I mean, Hecate really is an all-encompassing deity. So, you know, you'll find Hecate working in all areas. I mean, she straddles all three worlds. You know, she is the gatekeeper. She is the guide, guardian, and so the guide, guardian, and gatekeeper. There you go. So yeah, she would. Ivan makes sense. Okay, so I sit. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't like this idea of especially classifying the spirits into left and right and whichever class. Is just I don't work in that myself, so I wouldn't really put them in it either. Oh, if anybody did not see the notice, I started a new series on Patreon. If you join the $5 tier, journal tier upwards, I'm doing the 44 Solomonic Pentacles. So we're going to have a look at each one per week. Examine it, take it to pieces, find out what the names mean, where the versicle comes from, and what it applies to, how to use them. For a very long time, I thought that you had to scribe the pentacles onto metal discs and wear them or put them somewhere or use them as talismans and that kind. You don't. There's tons of ways you can consume them. You can put them on your body. You can, when you spin them open, create a vortex, they become this living being. It's really, really interesting. So I'm going to be doing that for the next 44 weeks. So that should be fun. So if anybody's interested in that, hop onto Patreon. Black Magic Society, thank you for the healing singing. It's an absolute pleasure. Ivan, I am learning so much. It's only been 4 years or so for me, and I have a lifetime to learn. But again, it's so worth it. My life is so much better. Oh yes, absolutely. And you never stop. Never stop. People often say, "Oh, but I'm still a newbie." I'm still a newbie as well. I'm still learning tons of shit. So never stops. That's one of the best parts for me out of it. Black Magic Society, do you still work with Kai? She messaged me recently. Yes, I do. We've been friends for 25 years, so yeah. Yeah. Kasim, same for me, Ivan. I enjoy these chats and these videos are great for information. Thank you. Really does give my life a purpose in many ways. That's good. It's good to have a purpose in life. Yeah, you have to have. You have to have goals. All of that stuff. Bobby Walker, I have no purpose. I'm 22 from Pixar Movie Soul. It's okay. You're still young. You'll find your purpose. Got a long time to go still. Don't worry about that. And it's not a competition. There's no time frame you have to do it in. Just Black Magic Society, I love your energy, by the way. And them. It's a them. They're non-binary, remember. Don't forget that part. And their astrology. Oh yeah, no. I mean, Kai's astrology is bloody fucking amazing. Yeah, I just it blows my mind. It does every time they kind of like find something in my chart that it's just completely abstract, and it's just like, how the hell can someone see that in your birth chart? I mean, it's insane. And they keep coming up with new things, learning. They keep learning over and more and more and more and more, and it's just absolutely bloody amazing. It really is. Kai's just amazing. Kazim, I was listening to your video about spirits not doing the work. They will point you in the right direction, but they won't do the work. You have to do it. That is true. So even in the case of research, the gods will direct you to learn, not just give it to you directly. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I made that video from the perspective of people giving over their power to the spirits, because that's what a lot of people are so used to doing from a Christian background. They give their power over to God or Jesus, and they, that's what they're used to. So when they come to witchcraft or magic or something, they do the same thing, and it's not how it works. It's not how it should work. So I did do that mainly from that perspective, but mostly, yes, they're not going to do the work for you. I believe that when you, for instance, healing, you don't channel the spirit and the spirit heals a person. You channel the vibration, the frequency of the spirit, and you resonate at that frequency, which allows you to heal. It's the same as doing Reiki. You're the channel, but it's the energy you're channeling through you. Same type of thing. But they don't do it for you. They don't go out and find a job for you. They don't go out and even if it's something like thinking of, like, if you go for a job interview and you really want the job, the spirit doesn't go and persuade the interviewer to give you the job. What happens is you take on the energy, you resonate at that vibration, then you do the magic, because now you're resonating, so you can do the magic aimed at that particular target. So that's kind of how I see it anyway. A lot of people still do see it as they go and do the work for you. So you call them, and this happens in a lot of Solomonic magic as well, specifically when you're working with the Goetia, where you call the spirit to you, you tell it to do X, Y, and Z, and then you send it off to go do it. I still think that we work with the vibrational frequencies, and we do the work ourselves. But there's a lot of contention, there's a lot of ways to view that, so, it's a whole lot of different perspectives at the end of the day anyway. Ivan, these videos are so great because I don't have many places to share all this information. Where I live is all Christian theology, and I am finding it harder and harder to relate. Oh yeah, no, that's always a bit of a problem. But that's why we have communities like this. You find your people, you find your community, and then you can talk to them about whatever you need to. Because half the time we've already been through what you are currently experiencing. And if we haven't, we probably have a good idea. So, might not be able to give advice, but it's good to actually get it out and talk about some things sometimes. It makes it easier. Divs, my path has taken me to working with the elements almost solely. I haven't felt drawn to work with spirits, but should that change, what could be advantageous to doing so? What doors may open and differ? Not really any different, to tell you the truth. You don't even need the elements. You can just work with your own personal energy and power. And this is why I say you don't have to work with spirits. I think too many people have this idea that they have to work with spirits, and it's a necessity. You don't have to. There's a lot of witches that don't work with spirits, gods and goddesses and everything else. They may work with nature, the energy of nature. They may work with the energies of the elements. And there's no different. Each of the elements represents a particular aspect that we may want to align with. Same thing with working with a spirit. That spirit holds a particular office and has a particular power that you want to be aligned with in order to accomplish your goal. Same thing. So, I like working with spirits, but I also don't fall into the spirit model. I fall into the energy model, because when I'm working with spirits, I'm working with the energy. So all my work's about energy work. So whether it's elements, whether it's planets, whether it's nature, whether it's the Fae, whether it's the Jinn, whether it's the demons, whether it's um, angels, archangels, gods, goddess, whatever it is, you know. It's about the energy for me. That's what I'm working with. Because the problem with Christianity is that it offers nothing spiritual at all. It's very flat. I got nothing out of going to church, to be honest. Not a lot of people do, but at the same time, we can't, you know, we can't generalize. There's a lot of Christianity, especially Catholicism, that is very spiritual, very powerful, and quite often very magical. But there's too many, especially the new, I'm going to say the New Age movements of Christianity. They are flat, and you might actually find that it's because they don't build their churches on power spots anymore. They just build the churches because it's a business. They don't care where they build it. They just build it so that they can go make money, and that's why it's flat. There's no energy, nothing happening. Whereas if you go to older churches, chapels, cathedrals, etc., they're usually built on power spots, and usually where a conjunction of ley lines take place, and they were they were usually built on pagan sacred grounds or sacred spots because of the power. And you know, so if you go to the older churches and stuff, it's going to be very, very different. You're going to feel it. And you don't even have to go to or join the congregation or go to a church meeting or whatever it is. Just walk into the church and sit down. That's all you need. You'll feel it. Thank you, it's a pleasure. Protestants are crypto-shamanistic. Has that got to do with making money through crypto? A lot of Protestants are just crazy. Right, we're gone quiet again. See if Reddit can give us anything. No, there we go. No. Not really much on Reddit at the moment, unless we talk about Crosspunk. Ivan, interestingly, my daily invocations have transformed from a just imagine your little fingers going crazy there. And longer silences. Yes, yeah, you'll find that. And it's because going into those silences brings you into a liminal state. And you'll find a lot of connections there. Whereas the prayers do call and they make connections, but then once you've called, you want to go in, you want to meet them. So you're going to go into those silences, which puts you into a between state. So very important to get into those silences. No, not much here. Andrea, sorry, I'm cooking what I just got out of my garden, so hand damp and typing difficult. No problem, don't worry. I know you're just bragging about your garden, so it's okay, it's cool. There are many communities associated with Judeo-Christianity that use typically shamanic rituals. People fall into trances, speak with voices, etc., and it is not known what spirits are being summoned. Yeah, they do tend to like to say that they are angels and things. There's a lot of Christian churches that have banned all of that because they're idiots. Um, but yeah, it's a definite thing. I mean, I used to watch it. I used to be quite heavily involved in the church. Um, I had two callings, one to healing and one to demonology. How about that? I just took them in a different direction than the church would have liked. Yeah. I don't agree with the she. I guess I'm speaking in tongues and snakes. Yeah, I always forget the word. Was it glassolalia or something? It's funny word. Speaking in tongues. Yeah, the snakes thing is a bit. I don't like that. They do not treat those snakes very well, and they are completely nuts. Yeah, I don't like that one. Which the music tonight is great. It is good. It's Daily Mix 6. There you go. Maybe one day I should just put DJ X on. Just let him decide what to play. Okay, so I've been learning to get my channeling gift more in tune. Good, yeah. No, it's one of those muscles you have to build up. Sim, what is your opinion on the Chaldean oracles? I don't really have much of an opinion. I don't work with it at all, really. I mean, I've worked with the Orphic hymns, but not the Chaldean oracles. So I can't really give you an opinion. They eat the snakes. That's okay. That's a bit weird. I thought it was those snake handling dudes who kind of like, go crazy in front of the congregation, and then half of them get bitten and die. Ivan, shamanic practices. I grew up in Puerto Rico and saw lots of West African influences in the church meetings. Oh, you would, yeah, from the slave traders. For example, praying and signing in a circle, tons of rhythmic chanting, very powerful. Yeah, that's probably when the slaves got brought across. Went all over. I can't remember my history now. I mean, a lot of them got taken to like the Georgia, New Orleans, all of those places, but there was a lot that got taken to Haiti, and I think that's kind of. My geography is terrible as well. I think that's in the Puerto Rico area. I can't remember actually. But anyway, yeah, they all got taken over, and they had to integrate their faith, their voodoo with. Excuse me. Just went crazy. Alright, I don't know if I just stopped for a minute there, but I'm back, hopefully. Why does the music keep stopping? It's very rude. Let's just make sure I'm still on. Not much is happening on my side. Am I still active? Let's do an activity check before we carry on. Ivan said, "Yep, it was part of the slave trade." Yes, yeah. So yeah, they all went over. They had to kind of hide their faith, their religion, and their practice, because otherwise they would be killed. And they skillfully, very skillfully, hid it in Christian analogy and stuff. I can't remember which book I was reading, and it was fascinating. They would kind of like talk about biblical characters and tell a story, but it was all coded. And what they were doing is they were kind of telling the story of what happened in the community, like you know, um, uh, the particular person was killed by the slave master and everything else, and they would like tell the story to tell the community about what happened, the news, in these biblical story, in the tales, and it was brilliant. Loved it. But yeah, and then they incorporated the saints, so they became the Lua, so that they could keep practicing without raising suspicion. So church has got very, very voodoo based, really, in a lot of regards. Yep, I can see me. Okay, fine. So everything just went a bit crazy. It was a short freeze. Castle, that's how Santa Muerte came to be, to the death cults were hidden in the Catholic temples. Yeah. All of that stuff arose from there. Well, I mean, it's like even earlier than that. We were talking about last week with the statues of Mother Mary were the goddess. So you know, when Christianity took over Europe and stuff like that, a lot of the people who were goddess worshippers would go to the churches and just worship the statues of Mary, because it was the same entity at the end of the day for them. We are adapters. We are survivors. I mean, one of the traits of being a witch is to adapt to your land. And if your land changes, you adapt to it. Oh. Not sure. Right, what's going on now then? I was going through Reddit to try and find something to talk about. Nothing here. Oh, there we go. Castle, I'm needing to get a statue of... Oh, you're going to do these words again, aren't you? Alright, I'll give it a shot. Mictlantecutli. Mictlantecutli. To put beside my statue of... Here we go again. Kakihuatl. Wattle? I love it when you give me these names. I'm just glad I can practice my Native American medicine man path without a problem. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. Andrea Jaspermuch has just been eating the contents of the rubbish bin. Good for Jaspermuch. It's what dogs are supposed to do. I know you have to clean it up, but you know. P.S. Lagios, hello. Your opinion for the book Goetia Pathworking? I actually kind of like that one. That's the Corbin Hargrove one. It's not too bad actually. It kind of follows the same premise as the Theodore Rose Lucifer and the Hidden Demons. It's just working with the Goetia spirits instead of the demons from Abramelin. And I like the approach. I think it's really cool. And it works. I didn't work that much with the Goetia Pathworking. I did experiment with Theodore Rose's book for a while just to get a good feel of it. It works. It's not like 100% success rate, but it definitely works, and it's an interesting way to, I mean, it's proper path working, you know, using the symbolism and such. And the interesting thing about that is that you kind of go through the, you know, I'm thinking of Theodore Rose's, you know, Lucifer, and you go, you see the mountain in the distance, and then you're at the foot of the mountain, and then you see the tree with the silver coming out of the tree, or out of the branches and stuff. And all of these images, they feel familiar. I've never done it before, never been through that process, specifically with, you know, those particular path working, but they just feel familiar. And that's interesting as well. I don't agree with Theodore Rose's everything he says, but it works. Ivan, I have to run. Oh, be right back. Thanks for the stream. It's a pleasure. Cheerio. Bevanmore, there's a new release in my country, Gerald Gardner's The Meaning of Witchcraft, but I'm not sure if I should waste my money on it. I would. I can't remember reading that one specifically. I probably have, a long time ago. But it's good to get background on all of the older practices, you know. It's good to have a history lesson. I'm not really a history buff. I don't really like history. I get very confused with dates, and my geography is terrible. So, you know, when we start talking about all the migrations from the north down to the Indus Valley and doing this and that, and, you know, we came from Africa and went all, just can't put the stuff together. But it's good to get background on the people who influenced our modern practice. So Gerald Gardner, Dorian Valiente, even older, go older, Dion Fortune, Crowley, Mathers. I hate to say it, but Blavatsky. I mean, Blavatsky was an absolute racist, and, you know, was a huge influence on the Nazis. But still, it's good to kind of dip your toe in it, get to know it, read it with a very broad mind. I remember reading, the last time I read something, a book by Blavatsky, I just got so pissed off because the racism was just too much for me. But it's good to know, you know, that's where our roots are, and most of the reason why we practice what we practice nowadays. So very good to go there, I think. Or other people. Gerald Gardner, Dorian Valiente, Robert Cochrane, all of those people. I would even say Alex Sanders. I'm a bit of an idiot, arsehole, but I'm sure Castle's going to disagree with me there. But yeah. Have a quiet night. We'll just listen to the music. Castle probably, but it's whatever. Not everyone does Alexandrian, Wiccan. I'm okay with that. Yeah, no, that's fine. But I mean, they're all arseholes. Really were. Gardner was a fucking freak. Cochrane was a raging idiot. Well, not idiot, but he was a real arsehole. So yeah, no, they're all very, very temperamental. Pete Murphy. What was that? That was somebody else. Yes, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. That was Dali's car. Is that Pete? I don't remember Pete Murphy being in Dali's car. Don't really listen to much Dali's car. Because I think the problem with Fortune, Gardner, Blavatsky, etc. is that they were products of the 19th century. Yeah, I mean, well, Blavatsky was, you know, before all that. Fortune wasn't too bad. I think there's a bit of an improvement there. Gardner. I mean, I think the thing is, I mean, for people to be, you know, in the public light that much, you've got to be charismatic, and it comes along with a big ego, actually, to that degree, anyway. So, you know, definitely can't be an introvert. Castle, it's like working with Santa Muerte, you got to be balanced and not too ego and a narcissistic person at all. Otherwise, she will take you. Yeah, yeah. But there's just so many people in the magical community that have huge egos. Owen Walker, why is there less money than the books I want to buy? I feel that pain, don't worry. All the founders of Wiccan movements had serious problems, so isn't Wicca itself problematic? No. You've got to remember that, yeah, the people may have been problematic, but it was many people who came together to form the path. So, you know, where one disagreed with another one, they kind of started to iron things out a little bit. So, there are some problems in Wicca for a lot of people. I don't personally like the dualism myself, but for other people that's acceptable. It's what they feel comfortable with. So, you know, depends what you mean by problematic at the end of the day, I suppose. Bobby Mordka said, "Take me, Castle." You gonna take him? Well. I think energies are a bit low today. Starhawk's very good. From Agatha there. I mean, if you want to get into like the Neo Wicca authors, you know, when I say that, what I mean is the ones who kind of took Wicca and said that everybody can be Wiccan, they don't have to be initiated into a coven or a lineage. Starhawk was a good one. We just pulled shit out of our arse and just put it in a book, and it was like unbelievable. Scott Cunningham was pretty good. From what I've heard, her book isn't the most reliable. It can be a bit dangerous. There's some things he recommends in there which you should not do with particular herbs. But otherwise, I mean, his solitary Wicca was pretty good. Silver Ravenwolf, problematic, but at the same time saved a lot of people. I actually read a post a long time back that was actually I actually quite appreciated the perspective. He said the person writing it said that they know the problems that surround Silver Ravenwolf's writings, but when he read the books, he was a teenager and he was on the verge of committing suicide. And Ravenwolf's books actually saved his life. They gave him purpose, meaning, something to live for. So, yeah, problematic, but. And I actually met somebody in a group, Yahoo group, long time ago, who was actually part of Ravenwolf's coven, and the person she is in real life and the person she is in the books, two very different people, because Llewellyn kind of dictates and did a lot back then, not so much now apparently, did a lot back then, dictates what has to go in the books and edits like crazy just to make sure that they make a shitload of money. So the crap that was coming through Llewellyn, which is why the half moon in the square on the Llewellyn logo itself, that's why we call it the shitter. I think it's called I think people called it the shitter because it was the outhouse, you know, on the door to the outhouse. It was a half moon thing in the square. Same logo. Yeah. So, anyway. Sorry, let me get back to the chat over here. A bit more. No, Castle. No, he's not worth her time. Okay, not sure what we're talking about now. Kasim, actually the dualism does make sense. It shows that every deity has a light and dark side. Yeah, but the dualism isn't that. The dualism is the masculine and the feminine. So you have your god and your goddess, and there's no. Yes, you get the great right and everything else, but it is very much about the masculine and the feminine and the separation of the two. In a lot of cases, so it's not for me personally. Castle, how is your Nigong and Qigong practices? On and off. On and off. Thank you for asking. Yes, I know you're gonna have to kick my ass. I kind of did it for half the week, and then I didn't do it for the rest of the half, the last half. So I'll pick up again tomorrow and carry on. At least I'm doing it every now and again, getting somewhere. Bavimorka, I'm not worth. My ego is too small. I will build bigger. All right then. Alistair. Hello, Alistair. Thanks for joining. Oops, wait. There we go. Castle. How I was taught. Okay, Agatha. Any interest in powwow? Are you talking about powwows, or are you talking about the Long Lost Friend, the book? I love powwows. I love watching powwows. They're so powerful. They're just so amazing. I just wish I was in America and I could like ask if I can go and watch a powwow actually there physically, listening to the drumming and the singing. And, oh my goodness, I would go mad. I love it. Castle, if you want to work with her above in Mordecai, then go. Castle, love powwows. Above in Mordecai, can't. Castle, why scared? It's a very interesting conversation going on tonight. Powwow magic. Oh, you're talking about the long lost friend. I haven't worked with her. That's kind of like not part of my, not within my culture. Who wrote the long lost friend again? I'm just trying to find it. Oh yeah, it was Johann George Holman. Yeah, I didn't work with that very much. As far as I remember, that was Pennsylvania Dutch. I don't remember now. Let's see. Published in German. I assume we're talking about the same thing, by the way. The Long Lost Friend by that dude. Oh yeah, it was Pennsylvania Dutch Powwower. Seriously, music. Yeah, I've always found it interesting. I've never been sure how that fits in with the Native American powwows. Why is the word the same? I'd love to, I actually need to get into the origin one day. Try and figure that out. Andrea, Alistair has to wash the frying pan. Alistair, go wash the frying pan, please. Thank you. Jersey, hello Jersey. How's the band going? I'm interested in powwows. I'm Creek and Cherokee. Cool. Check out my Native American punk band. What's the link again? I need to put the link in again. Castle, Natchez and Apache. Here we go. Jersey Shore Shark Attack Band. I need to get you more subscribers, dude. What was that one, right? Yeah, I'm going to put that link to the Jersey Shore Shark Attack YouTube in the link, in the chat. Words. Why do we have bother with... What is my computer tonight? God, Mercury's retrograde is really messing with my computer tonight. There we go. Just if that's the wrong one, just let me know. YouTube is lacking for sure. Most of our promotion is done on my Facebook. Okay, is your Facebook in here? In your about? You need to put your Facebook link in your YouTube. It helps with algorithms and stuff, but if people get to the YouTube, then you know, at least they can find you on Facebook as well, and vice versa. Right. Andrew, I want to say thank you to whoever sent me the good luck with the new GP. Oh yeah, I remember you asking for that. There was a bunch of us, I think. I'm sure everybody says it's a pleasure. Okay. Might have to have an early night tonight. Andrea, thank you all. It went really well, and appreciate the help. It's a pleasure. Glad it was helpful. Kasim, where do you think the goetic spirits originate from? The goetic spirits, I believe, this is a difficult one, to be honest. I don't think we will ever actually know, because all the spirits, 72 spirits that we find in the Ars Goetia, originally came from older grimoires, and not just one. There were like 3 or 4. And I mean, this is what typically happens with the grimoires, and it still happens nowadays. But you have a magician who reads a bunch of grimoires or books and then starts doing magic and calls on particular spirits, and kind of like, when a spirit comes through, one person may have called it one thing, another person calls it another thing. They get a different name, and then they put it in their journal, because really that's what it is. It's a journal, grimoire. And these ones that we know of would at some point, just for some reason, became public. But really, this is kind of like, if you have created your own journal or your own grimoire, you've got no intention of sharing it with anybody. So the notes you make are very often quite brief. You know what you're talking about. Somebody reading it might get confused. But then you die, and at some stage, hundreds of years later maybe, somebody finds your grimoire and makes it public. And now all of a sudden people are trying to mimic what's in the grimoire, word for word, and you can't do that because it was just a magician's notes. It was their experiences with what they were doing and their experiments they did. And a lot of it isn't even there. It's missing, because you make a note, you know what you were talking about, but it makes no sense to anybody else. So there's that aspect. Then you have the King Solomon, the story of King Solomon, and he employed these spirits to build the temple, and they were Jinn. They were considered to be Jinn. So possibly Jinn, but that comes from the Testament of Solomon. That's a much older grimoire. And the 72 spirits in there, as far as I remember, are they've got different names to what we know in the Ars Goetia. So you have to bear that in mind. Then, because of that, we could actually consider these spirits to be egregores. Thousands and thousands of people have worked with them, and they have just developed into egregores, which are possibly tied into the original entity which somebody worked with, but still egregores at the same time. Nothing wrong with that. Work with egregores all the time. We all are connected to egregores, and they're very powerful beings. But so where does they originate from? Difficult question, actually, to be honest with you. And you also asked, have you ever worked with angels before? I have. I don't like them. I find them to be very snooty and temperamental. They don't really have much of an interest in human beings, and especially human lives, so they don't really want to help much. Archangels are a bit different, but they can also be a bit temperamental, and no, I don't like working with them. Jersey, I just started a community on my YouTube channel, or whatever, some new feature they have. It's the community tab, it's just to make posts. Consider one consciousness, many voices. Yeah. It's the one power and the many entities. Castle, I've always burned my book of secrets, or what's been passed to be, so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And I pray you're okay. I think it should be passed on. Your, whatever you call it, your Book of Shadows, your Book of Secrets, your Grimoire, your journal. You know, Grimoire specifically, or Book of Shadows specifically, because that contains your rituals. I think that should be passed on to a student at some point, you know, before you die. You know, keeping traditions alive, really. That's all. Sim, why do you think the gods and goetic spirits want to work with humans and angels don't? Because that's not the purpose for angels. That's not what that's not in their job description, basically. That's really what it boils down to. You know, angels are groups of beings which control forces of nature. They've got no interest or no desire, no need to help with a human and their life. Because, you know, controlling a storm is a lot different to helping you make sure you don't, like, get something stuck in your zipper. You know, it's just not in their job description, really. And they just don't like humans. Because they don't have to like humans. But again, archangels are different. And this is the problem, you know, I know people talk about angels and quite often they're actually referring to archangels. I'm just actually do a quick video on that one day. Pull up some William Gray quotes and stuff, because just to clear that up, my understanding of it anyway. Bobby Mordecai, are egregores beings or impersonal information structures? Because I don't know already. Because angels are harmful, Kasim, they are harm gels, yes. Are egregores beings or impersonal information structures? Yes. Both. Egregores are entities which have been created by a group of people who have all believe in the same thing, all move in the same way. And the collected energy creates an energy which is intelligent. Is it impersonal? Can be, not always, but it's definitely an information structure. It's a collective of belief and knowledge that gets placed into the egregore. But yeah, they're beings. They are powerful beings. Modern Christian egregore is the most powerful we know of, and we all know, we've all experienced that one. Andrea, my handwriting is so bad, my English teacher said it's somewhat akin to hieroglyphics, except that hieroglyphics can be deciphered, so my stuff will be lost. It's okay, maybe somebody can decipher it. It's like, you know, deciphering cuneiform. Never know, somebody might figure it out. Because so much for the angels loving us and the whole paradise mindset we have been taught. Seems they don't like us. I have no idea. Yeah, no, that's the problem. You've got all these New Age people like let's forget a bloody name. Who made all the angel cards? I don't keep these bits of information in my data bank. Let's do angel cards. Who are you? Who are you? The original angel? I don't think so. Oh, bloody hell. Give me a name. Let's just go here. Who are all these new people making angel cards? Oh my god. This is some scary shit. Doreen Virtue, there you go, thank you very much. I've got all these new people. Radley Valentine, Debbie Malone, Jane Wallace, the Pulp Girls. What the fuck? Anyway, so you got all these, like, you know, they make the angels appear like they are fluffy bunny entities. Most of the time they're archangels anyway. As I said, the angels and the archangels are actually, they're separate, they're different. When you talk about angels, you've got classes of different angels. Seraphim, Aishim, etc, etc, etc. And they are groups of entities. They don't even have names. Whereas the archangels do have names, but they're on a different level. They're on a different world of emanation. What were we talking about now? Oh, here goes the bloody music again. No. It's back. So, yes, they have this completely different job description. And Justin Sledge, Dr. Justin Sledge, was talking about it in his first Merkava Mysticism video, that there are, when the people were doing their Merkava, well, Merkava is really chariot, but anyway, when they were doing their journey work to go and you know, sit at the right hand side of God or whatever they did, there were hacks that they did to make them appear as angels, so that they wouldn't be killed by the angels when they went there. Because if they were seen as being human, that's it. Chop off your head. But it's just because they're a particular type of entity, and they're a necessary type. But you don't want to really deal with them. I mean, people who work with the Enochian angels, they're horrible entities. Anyway, Andrea, I just told you. Yeah, I know you did. That's why I thanked you. Castle, been needing to make the practice a bit better because of me cleansing houses. I've been encountering a lot of different spirits and house spirits, and having to close portals people open because they play with the board. Yeah. Well, people do it all the time. Which is why, you know, you get people like us. It's our job description. There you go. Andrea, job description is Nan approved. Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Nan. Castle, I picked up an astral parasite on people. You would. That's why. I mean, if you're going to be doing that kind of work, you have to keep up your cleansing, and more than general people. Andrea, all eyes, Enochian angels. Yeah, I don't work with them. I don't want to work with them, to be honest. Ooh, excuse me. It's obviously my bedtime. It's only 8:30. What the hell? Yes. Have you ever seen spirits in a visible form? No. No, I haven't. No. I felt them quite solidly, but I haven't seen them as, you know, the theophany experience. No. And actually, I don't have any interest in seeing them visibly, to show you the truth. I go to them and I talk to them directly, and that's good enough for me. I don't really... In order to get a spirit to manifest physically so that everybody in the room can actually see that spirit, it takes so much bloody energy that's what you're really doing. You're not really focusing on the magic itself or the gnosis or anything like that. All you're doing is just trying to get a spirit to appear physically, and then when it's done, then what? You haven't gained anything. So honestly, I've just had no interest in doing that. Andrea, me neither. Freaky. Are we talking about the Inoki Angels? I don't know. I'm getting lost again. Castle, I work with both angels and demons. I find it very pleasant. Very pleasant. Probably very pleasant. Okay, there you go. It's a different perspective. Yes, I have. Andrea, yes, I do. Oh, the seeing spirits visibly. Castle, where I see the dead and smell them very. There is a difference here. And maybe we need to clear up what Lias means by sea spirit in a visible form. If you are in a room with more people than yourself, so let's say you've got 3 people in the room, one of those people is you, and you call a spirit and you see the spirit, can the other 2 people see it? Or is it just that you have the sight and therefore you can see the spirit? That's one interpretation of this. Another interpretation is theophany, where you call the spirit and it physically appears and all of the people in the room can see that spirit. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about visible form, theophany. So need to clear that up a bit. If Lias can just let us know what they were referring to. Andrea, I just get visited by my pets, family, etc. And yes, Lee, that's what I meant. Oh yeah. No, they can't. Okay. Just got to get them peyote. Oh yeah, I'm sure they would. Or smoke some tobacco to get them in the trance to see the spirit. Yeah, I think if a lot of people are in trance, they'll connect with their sight, especially if they're using peyote or something. That will connect them with their psychic senses. But yeah, that's why I'm. When somebody asks that question, I usually go straight to the theophany aspect of it. Excuse me. I think I'm going to call it a day just now. Andrew at Castle the Mad, yep, but that's a secondary way. Castle, the elemental kings seem to me very temperamental at times, but doing path work with them, I'd maybe understand them. Yeah, it would. It's part of the training I do with people actually is to one by one go and actually meet them, and I associate them with watchtowers as well. So you go to the watchtower and you meet them, and some people get a message, some people don't, but they have the experience, they can feel the energy, which makes a whole lot of difference. Kasim, thank you Lee for all your information tonight. Look forward to next week's Coven chat. It's a pleasure. Thanks for joining. Just trying to see if Klias can just clarify what they were talking about before I hop off. Castle, blessed be all, may the gods and goddesses watch over everyone. Have a wonderful week. You too, have a good one. True that, Andrea. Alright, I think I'm gonna hop off. But I will see everybody next week. And have a good week. I'll see you then. Cheerio for now. Oh, wait, hang on. Chat's catching up here. Let's just make sure nothing else comes through. Yeah, this is like the entire bloody evening. Still going. There we go. Yeah, it caught up. There we go. Alright.